I am a LOHAS consumer.
I am a LOHAS consumer.
I'm trying to be more of a LOHAS consumer.
I'm definitely a LOHAS consumer.
In the past few years, there's been a huge shift in the way in which Americans view and interact with the environment. They're beginning to realize the actions they take now influence the future of our planet. Never before has there been more corporate activity, media attention, or consumer involvement directed towards sustaining our planet. Huge corporations like General Electric are spending millions of marketing dollars focusing on the eco-friendly shift in consumer attitudes.
My parents grew up in the age of convenience. It was about going and buying, TV dinners and frozen food, and that was wonderful for them because it was so convenient. And I think in my kids' generation, it'll be about living with the smallest impact you can.
I'm really concerned with the economic impact of my purchasing decisions. I mean, right now I'm driving a Subaru that gets almost 30 miles to the gallon, and I'm feeling bad about the mileage being so low.
I have in the past purchased things like plants through a place like Home Depot, and honestly, they didn't last that long. They weren't hardy.
The LOHAS consumer, short for Lifestyles of Health and Sustainability, encompasses an ever-growing group of people dedicated to living healthy and sustainable lifestyles while also laying a groundwork for an environmentally healthy future. The LOHAS movement has gained momentum in recent years and evolved into a $300 billion consumer market in the United States, which is almost 30% of the entire consumer market.
I'm pretty conscious of where my stuff comes from and how it gets to me.
I feel better about paying a little bit more for a product that's not hurting the earth and that's going to be more sustainable and using things that would otherwise be thrown away.
A lot of our customers that are coming out of the local area are concerned about living green. They want to tread a little lighter on the earth.
A lot of fertilizers and things like that these days are made out of petroleum, which is in scarce supply. And I think we ought to be saving that stuff more and more for heating, and even looking for alternatives in that respect.
The plant varieties that we select and the various products that we carry in the store, they require less of a chemical fertilizer and less of chemical sprays to grow them.
You have some major brands who are touting themselves as all natural and highlighting these claims, which to me seems slightly disingenuous.
For the independent garden center to thrive, it will need to embrace the sustainable marketplace. The independent garden center already has an advantage over the larger chains because it's the first place people think of to get their green products. However, this advantage won't last for long. It's important to seize this expanding market before the big box stores establish and consolidate their market leadership.
As an independent garden center, we definitely have the advantage over the big box stores. We have more customer interaction, we get the feedback more directly from the customers, so we know what we need to carry and what we want to carry and what they want to have here.
The movement towards sustainability has no choice but to grow in the future. At this point, you already see this incredibly ramped up adoption of the green lifestyle.
It's also important to understand how catering to the sustainable living movement benefits the independent garden center. By embracing this exciting market transformation now, it's possible to tap into the $300 billion demographic. As Americans become more attuned to environmental issues, the eco-friendly movement will continue to expand, and the need for sustainable products will increase. Coming up next, I'll show you how to incorporate Garden Girl TV's line of products into your store and appeal to the LOHAS consumer market.
I am a LOHAS consumer.
I am a LOHAS consumer.
I'm trying to be more of a LOHAS consumer.
I'm definitely a LOHAS consumer.